very much, James. Yes, it is indeed. We are down here at the blind spot, raising a drink for the guys from Fnatic. Cheers, everybody who also got those predictions right. Commiserations to Hawker and Anders, yet again siding with the wrong team in this one.
I'm 4-0 on
4-0?
predictions so far.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wait, you
crushing
should be
it.
up there then, right? You and Alan will be way up there.
Yeah. I should be up towards the top. I'm not sure if I am exactly up there because I was a little bit more conservative on MIBR than some other people were in terms of the points I allocated. But yeah, it's feeling pretty good.
How do you do it? What's the secret?
Know nothing about Counter-Strike Maui. So you must unlearn what you have learned, and that's how you can be a CSGO Jedi like me.
You're thinking too much, Maui. You're getting too deep into this.
All right.
But that being said, Fnatic, I know you love a bit of the Swedes, and they were looking incredible in that matchup. It's kind of crazy to see that turnaround. The fact that these two teams have played each other 3 times, it's always gone to 3 maps. It's always been incredibly close. Like, how did Fnatic do that?
It just felt like Fnatic decided to turn it on today. They didn't ever stop either. And that's usually what happens in these games where Fnatic's stomping. They just start kind of relaxing. But they relaxed today. Let's not get it wrong. But when they did it, it always felt like they were so far ahead in the round that even if they chilled out just for a moment, they still were able to pull it off.
To answer the question, like, more seriously than before, I mean, the way I kind of look at this matchup is that in the first instance, okay, you have a new Mad Lions roster. Maybe Fnatic isn't taking them entirely seriously. Okay, they get surprised at IEM, right? And then you look at the second matchup in this series, and it really came down to Fnatic throwing on the last map. Not that I think Mad Lions really closed it out. And also, I think after seeing Fnatic's form yesterday, for me, it was much more of an eye opener about, oh, these guys look like they're actually getting their shit into gear because we've seen them be a little too loose, perhaps, earlier in the tournament. Yeah. They've been slowly, step by step, tightening it up. And I think they really just wanted this revenge match. I think they wanted the win. And then also you can see the whole map pool was really flipped around for this one. We didn't see the Inferno and Vertigo again. It was an entirely new style. So I just felt like Fnatic has been heating up. They were taking things more seriously. They could have easily won that. They should have won that last matchup. Yeah. So everything, that momentum was clearly, I think, swinging into Fnatic's favor.
Yeah, and I think Fnatic, they love to play spoiler, and given that it's Roy's birthday, they took that personally. They said, we are not going to let you celebrate with us losing.
Well, somebody that was celebrating that whole match long was, of course, JW. Absolutely love to see his form coming out here. And, of course, we're going to be able to check in with him in our winners interview. JW, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with us. I firstly just want to ask, we were sort of talking about it here, what were the main differences you saw in Mad Lions coming into this match? Of course, 2 completely different maps to the maps we saw in the previous 2 series. But, where were the holes for you in terms of that Mad Lions side? Because you guys looked incredibly dominant throughout that.
I think we felt that we shouldn't have lost the last matchup. So going into this one, we basically said that there's only a seed game. We can just play our game. There's no pressure. There's nothing. Just show our game and build confidence for the playoffs. And that's kind of what we did.
Because that's something we heard from Golden when we were chatting to him after the matchup yesterday, saying, you didn't feel like you guys should have lost against Mad Lions, especially on Overpass when it was 14-8. So what was his approach like during this game? Was it any different to the first 2 times that you faced Mad Lions?
Not really. Golden is preparing pretty much the same way every game. He takes it very serious and he builds up a plan for all of us. So for him, in that sense, I guess it was like any other game. But for us as a team, we just try to show our game and show what we are capable of. Because the Fnatic you see on the officials is not really the Fnatic we see on practice games. So we just try to show that face in official, and I think we managed to do that here.
Yeah, you definitely showed up in full force, JW. Gentlemen, I want to open the floor for some questions. Anybody got anything they want to ask JW?
Yeah, I have 2 questions, and they're both a little bit lighter-hearted, I would suppose. The first is, are we going to see Sunglasses JW come out at all this tournament?
It's not kind of the best teams here, but if we manage to play one really strong opponent, I guess I'm going to need the glasses.
Okay.
So cool. you can only style. I just want to. The rules of the glasses are you only style on good teams, not on bad teams. Okay, I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
That's the lore now.
Okay,
behind
I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah. And the second question is, it got some attention yesterday when you were drinking a certain kind of frothy beverage.
Oh.
Can you explain what that was?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a monster, of course, but I don't know about what sponsors Flashpoint have and whatnot, so I try to hide the brands as much as possible for you guys.
I respect that, man.
Oh,
I
thank
respect
you.
that.
I respect the thoughtfulness. However, we do not have a beverage sponsor, so you can drink it in the can.
I
This
can show the can.
season,
Right.
this season only.
Right.
Okay.
Great. That's what I have. Yeah. Good answers.
Anything from you, Monty?
I am curious. Why did you guys switch up the map pool today after the Vertigo Inferno that we saw in the last two? What was the strategy or thought process behind that?
We feel that our Inferno is still one of the best maps in the whole world, but we feel that other teams have tried to adapt too much to it and tried to maybe anti-strat us too much. And for that reason, we didn't feel as comfortable doing that pick. So we just felt that train is also really, really solid for us. Let's pick that and see how they react on it. And I think it was a good call from Samuelsson and the whole team.
You said it earlier, you were kind of alluding to some of the other teams in the competition. So how are you viewing yourselves now? You know, you managed to top your group, you're definitely secured for that playoff spot. How are you viewing yourselves in regards to some of the other teams that we see here?
It's hard to say, really. Of course, I would want to say that we're one of the favorites, but we also have to show that on the server. I don't think that we have shown that as of yet in Flashpoint. Maybe with this game today, we're starting to show it a little bit. But we're going to have to fight for every game here. We're going to have to play at our best to have a shot. And I think we're going to be able to do it. But we can't overthink anything. We just have to play one match at a time and take it really serious, because we need it not only for ourselves, but like for our fans as well, and for our confidence going into the upcoming year.
Well, thank you so much, JW, for taking the time to chat. Unless anybody else has any other questions, we can let you guys...
I do have one more question. So you guys are going to go into this boot camp now. What is the number one thing you want to work on while you're all together in this boot camp in Sweden?
The number one thing I think is going to be working on adapting. We have good strats, we have good plans, but we have to be able to adapt during the way. Like, for example, if you play... Fury is not playing this tournament, but MIBR, for example, they have a pretty special playstyle, and you need to be able to adapt to that certain playstyle. You can't go into the game with your own plan only, because they're going to throw a lot of things at you, and you need to be able to adapt to that. So that is going to be our main focus, I think. And the other thing is, like, every time we play together or at the same place, we have so much easier at developing and playing good. So those two things are key for us, I think.
I actually have one more serious question now that you mention all of that. I feel like I notice when you guys play, sometimes we get this one side of Fnatic that is just absolutely blowing people out of the water, and just there's perfect crossfires, perfect communication. It feels like you break down every round perfectly. And then sometimes it just gets too individual, too sloppy. What brings out one side and what brings out the other?
I think it kind of brings out, like, it's kind of our stubbornness, I guess, in a way. Most of us are pretty stubborn and have had an easy time to, like, take things personal, if it makes sense. Like, if, for example, if I work Ivy on train every round and I lose a duel to him, I feel like, okay, in my head I'm gonna do this the next round and I'm gonna wreck him doing it. But then he switches up his thing as well. And then the third time, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna let him beat me 3 times in a row, right? Like, I think most of us have an easy time taking things too personal and trying to, like, win a personal vendetta, and that is our weakness, I think, and that is really, really not good for anyone, I think. But when we don't have that, and we just think about the team and the whole plan overall, that's when you see the strongest version of us. So I think we just have to focus on us as a team and try to play it from there.
Cool. Thanks.
Well, of course, we'll be seeing a lot more of Fnatic going forward. So thank you so much, JW, for taking the time to join us, and looking forward to seeing more of you guys at Flashpoint.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's interesting to get to speak to JW as well, especially after his performance in that matchup. Because, Mami, you were saying it. There were so many moments where he just looks so confident. And it's incredible to see. Like, he almost teases some of the opposition when he's trying to kill them. It's nuts.
There's sometimes JW just totally disrespects someone in a moment, and you can just feel it. And it's not when he just knifes someone, it's when he has this perfect crossfire, and he's probably supposed to be the last point of contact, but then he says, you know what, guys, I got this. And he just swings out, kills him instantly with the op, and he was absolutely feeling it today. It was so sick to watch.
It's nuts. Welcome, James.
Hello.
To the semi-winners table. I say that very loosely because you were way down at the bottom. But you got to win, finally. You got to be happy with that.
I did, yeah. I just, I did so well and just destroyed everybody so bad last week. I just didn't care anymore.
You know it's not cumulative, though.
I know, but
Yeah, we're also not
how
playing
many-
to win. We're playing not to lose. There's
Yeah.
actually a difference.
The thing is, like, I thrive in all environments, so it doesn't matter. It was
I
such a
feel
great
like you're
run.
not thriving in this environment.
We're on the way back. There's 2 more days, okay?
Look
There
at
are
the
there are
positives,
upsets
yeah.
to be had. So
Really?
I was
What upsets? So MIBR over big? Is that the next
Yeah,
James
that's
Bardolph
gotta be the
prediction?
play.
let's see the odds, man. The thing is, I'm getting baited. I'm getting baited by the odds. I'm like, I could still win this. I could still win if I just smash this one.
As
I
you-
think I could entirely. It's not a guarantee I'm going to come last, man. Yumi's doing crap as well, right? I could
But
easily
not
hop over these
minus
people.
crap.
Excuse me.
He's not doing minus
I
crap.
could easily hop over you. If this is not representative of the gap, right? Like technically, Yumi is second to last, but he also has 1,800 more points
Easy.
than you do.
Easy,
Yeah.
Monty.
Which-
2 days, bro.
Which, by the way, is the same difference between Yumi and beating Thorin. So if you took that gap between Yumi and yourself and you applied it to Yumi's score, he would be in third place right now. That is the
That's
size
nuts.
of the gap.
I'm a big boy.
He's a big
I'm a gap.
That's the
problem.
response.
No
Okay.
problem.
Let's give some props to Alan. He's in first place. Let's move away from the bullying, James Bardolph.
Okay.
But Alan in first
take
place.
it.
I'm
100%.
very impressed with that. Yeah, 100%.
He's been on point, and he's bet the right amounts, too, to get himself in first place, just taking that right amount of risk.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
good for
yeah.
Alan here.
No, I think it's a good point that you bring up though, Monty, because I feel like now, we were talking about it in the green room earlier, we were saying, there's upset potentials for these matches as we progress forward when, sort of the bottom of the pack competition are being sort of spread out of Flashpoint 2. It's going to be harder to make up the difference. I'm sorry,
Yes.
James. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to harp
here's-
onto you.
here's
Ye
why-
of little faith.
Here's why it gets harder this week is because in
Here
week
comes the
one,
calculator.
so literally it's the way the tournament is set up, right? So we're set up to have heavy underdogs in the first round of competition because the teams are selecting each other, right? So in theory, the best team is trying to select the worst team to face them in the first round. So
Yeah.
you have odds that are very skewed. So when we get the Gen G versus OG upset, there is a large odd difference there. The problem is, James, that as we move forward in this competition, when we're in winners matches or when we're in last chance, these teams are supposed to be about equally skilled by this point in time. Big versus MIBR potentially excluded, but the odds are going to narrow the further we go in, right?
Look, it's easy. It's easy. No problem. No problem. I can not come last if I want to make it happen. Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
we want to make you happy here, James. So
We
we've
do?
curated.
Wait, we do?
I think we have to. After seeing that, after the pure bullying that we've been giving you, James, we've got 2 segments for you. We're going to be
Two
doing
segments for
yeah,
me?
a whole 2 segments.
Oh, God.
We're going to be doing some keyboard reviews and some training reviews. I believe
Ooh,
we're going to be.
okay.
There
I'm
we
down.
go.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Easy money. Let's go.
Oh my God! Look at this.
whoa.
Props to whoever made this, man.
Nice
Holy
graphic.
crap!
Oh, that is nice.
Bardolph's keyboard review.
Oh, let's go.
I want to do this you rate them as well because I
All
want
right,
to give
this
a
is
winner.
Alex's
Yeah, this
keyboard.
is Alex's setup.
All right, it's probably going to be hair on it then. Jesus. So he's got a full-size keyboard. I'm not a fan of full-size keyboards.
No,
you know,
me
unless
neither.
you're in accounting, I don't feel like you need the 10 keys.
No.
People have got
I need
binds
the
and
10
things.
keys, James.
What do you use
for?
the 10 keys for?
Yeah.
Commissioning.
Oh well.
I live the
You get a
spreadsheet
free
life,
pass.
guys.
You get a
Okay.
free pass.
I live the spreadsheet life.
Spreadsheets get the pass. Not too bad. I think RGB is kind of overrated, but it depends on what
Really?
keycaps you have. Yeah, because it can be too much, right?
Interesting.
It can be too much. Like when I try to go to sleep at home, I've got too many
Look-
freaking. My
look at-
fans have got RGB.
Look at the knives that he selected for our Pinnacle giveaway. You notice that they tend to be monochrome, very sleek,
I think there was
classy.
a value cap on those, sure.
There was a
Yeah,
value cap, but understated
he's
is
a man
good,
who
yeah.
likes to wear all
Understated
one
is-
color.
I respect
Okay.
that.
I will say, one of the good things about the gaming keyboards, most of them, right, is that you can just replace the keyboards immediately.
Yeah.
Like, this is a HyperX keyboard I can see. They sent me one of their Ducky 1-2 minis, which only came out this week. But they sent it to me months ago, and I immediately just replaced all the keycaps because I've got like proper serious business keycaps. You've seen it. All my all my caps are just dots and lines upstairs.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to type a password, you got to really know what you're doing. But this is it's kind of a basic bitch keyboard
Give us
in
an out
terms
of
of
10.
like it's RGB, it's full size. I'll give it like a.
What is
a
the
5
best
out of
switch
10.
for
That's a
Counter-Strike?
5 out of 10.
Five out of
I
10.
agree with that.
It's a preference thing, really. It depends on what you're comfortable with. And
I'd
there's like
be-
unlimited switches out there now. I use Zelios for the Felios, and I use the heavy ones. I'm heavy-handed. I break things. I walk into doors. So mine have got strong springs, and I'm just pounding them keys, baby.
I'd like to know your opinion on Gatoron, because I prefer those over Cherry MX.
Okay.
I like Gatoron Browns more than Cherry
Okay.
MX Browns, personally.
I started with Cherry MX Browns, and then I went straight to Zelios because there was this guy who made a review of Zelios switches, and he was drunk. And it was just the best review of all time. So I just skipped everything else and just bought loads of Zelios. It was like I was just completely convinced because he was really emotional about them. And he wrote like 3 paragraphs while drunk. And it was like, it's like my girlfriend's left me. Everybody's outside partying. I'm just here with my switches. I was like, this guy respects. This guy
Deep
knows his
shit,
switches.
man.
So
Deep shit.
yeah. Where's the next one?
Let's bring up another one. Floppy is here.
Okay.
He made sure to
ooh.
include the Red Bull.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I like
Missing
here,
a keycap.
what I like is the consistent
Oh,
colors.
yeah.
This is a man who uses his brain. When it's this RGB, it's like the ADHD mode, which is fine, but this is more refined. So, he's thought about what he's doing with his colors. He doesn't want the rainbow. He wants some consistency in his life. He wants to be a bit calmer. He wants to think about things a bit more.
But-
Same
That's
with
pretty
focus.
solid.
I'm disappointed because really he should have the Cloud9 blue on the keyboard.
Right,
For
right.
aesthetic
But it may be fading
consistency
through.
with his jersey that he brought up there on his monitor.
Yeah.
So I feel like,
We'd even go with the can.
Out of
and
10,
also the Red
James,
Bull
out
can,
of
like
10.
ooh.
He's mixing blue and
Out of
purple.
10, I'll give it a 6 because he's actually selected consistent colors, and it maybe
Yeah.
if it's like slow fading through different colors, that's even more impressive.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's just settled on this kind of like sexy
But there is a
purple
missing
color,
keycap, as Monty pointed out. There is one missing.
That's true.
Does that take off half a point, maybe?
Some people remove keys, like the Windows key. They'll,
'Cause you
they'll
don't wanna
remove it
use-
so they don't press
Slee
it by
used to do
accident.
that, right? When he was observing.
Yeah,
he'd
but you
literally just
can,
remove
if
it.
you've got a good enough keyboard, you can program it so it doesn't do anything.
I want to bring up the color combo one time because to factor in the purple with the blue from Cloud9, blue and purple, beaten and bruised just like Cloud9 as they left the tournament.
But yeah, maybe it was symbolic. We weren't reading into the literary
No,
aspect of
yeah,
it. He
yeah,
was
yeah.
he was trying to create some color
I
symbolism
read it.
for us.
Me and
I
Floppy
like
are
it.
on the same wavelength.
Oh, here we
with that
go.
one.
Okay, Flusher.
Oh,
That's
hold
good.
on a
That's-
second.
I
This is
like
like
this.
this is
Yeah.
like a 65% keyboard. So, okay, this is one of the Fnatic keyboards, which they haven't sent me, the bastards. But this is pretty good. So it doesn't have any F keys. So you can see on the right side of the space bar, the second right key is the function key. You hold that down, the numbers become F keys. IJKL is probably up, left, down, right, things like that. You can program it to be whatever you want, which is why people are like, oh, I need to use my page up, my page down keys for binds and stuff. You really don't. You just need to like hold that key and press whatever you want. So it's quite simple stuff.
I really wanted to buy one of the Fnatic mini streaks, but they're just, you can't get them anywhere at the moment, which is really annoying because I have a Razer which is like the blue switches, and I didn't realize how loud they were until I
Oh,
got
yeah.
open back headphones.
Oh.
Fuck me up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
I feel like
bad.
clicky keyboards are only for people who go to DreamHack and want attention. And after that, you go for like the silent ones.
I used to be on that blue switch like when I was younger, but I'm brown switch for life.
Yeah,
now.
I need
It's
to
really
switch
for
up, man.
pretentious people only,
Oh
I
god,
think.
I'm
What I
just
will
being
say-
insulted left and right here, man.
What I will say, right?
I feel like I should switch back then.
I've been
Maybe,
pushing 60% keyboards for gaming for ages, right? People didn't understand. Oh, but I need F keys, I need binds and stuff. But now, like we're seeing the actual manufacturers make these keyboards, like the crossover with HyperX and Ducky and stuff. So they're understanding now, like that keyboard from Fnatic, space is limited. Flusher even said, like hilariously back in the day, he didn't have much space to move his mouse. I was the same because I used to play on a bureau. If you don't know what a bureau is, right, it's an old school wooden antique piece where the thing folds out like this and it's got the kind of green base. And because it folds out, there's a gap. So you're limited in how much height you have on the keyboard. When you put your monitor on there as well, it's just a complete disaster. Which is why my aiming style is terrible and it's like this, because I never had space to like play like that. Which is why my aim is really bad.
So was that the best one so far?
Absolutely the best one so far. Yeah, the
Out
smaller
of
the
10.
better.
Let's
yeah,
give a-
Okay, out of 10, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay,
7
that's
out of
pretty
10.
good.
Pretty similar to my keyboard.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
next.
I take that.
Next
Okay,
up.
so this looks like a Corsair K65, which is a keyboard I used to have.
I love
which-
this. I fucking love
It's
it.
a keyboard I used to have, actually, which used to be in production a few years ago. I think producer Reese used to use it. I'm not sure if it's still kicking about, but, well, firstly, the keyboard's absolutely disgusting, right? If you look at the arrow keys, there's a lot of, like, there's a lot of
that?
unidentified hairy objects over there, which is just not a good look. So this needs a clean, all right? So we got a -2 points immediately because it just looks like
Fair
it
enough.
looks like there's a hygiene problem over
Yeah,
here.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, coronavirus.
Udoh, come on,
if
man.
you look at the WASD and stuff, I'm not a fan of like that keycap difference.
No.
It's like the
It's
keyboard
kinda
is nice,
weird.
but I don't like the keycaps. I would change the keycaps.
So
Also,
the
I think
actual
glow
base
through.
is okay.
All right, this is the thing for you gamers out here, right? These glow through keycaps, in my opinion, kind of suck. And every gaming keyboard comes with these glow through keycaps. The problem is because they've got gaps where the light comes through, right? The quality's crap. They get shiny, and sometimes the paint on them just scratches off and
Scratches
stuff.
off, yeah.
So it's better to just ignore that. Get a separate set of solid keycaps so it glows underneath instead. Much more refined, much more tasteful, you know?
it's like-
I'll bring you from a boy to a man, Maui.
It's like when the Ricer with the Subaru's got that like green underglow. Maybe that's an American thing.
Oh,
Tokyo
God.
Drift.
Yeah, it is. That's a hard American thing,
Yeah.
but yes, it is
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah. So you can easily just like upgrade your keyboard with just a nice set. You can go to Pimp My Keyboard, just giving free plugs here. PimpMyKeyboard.com. They got all kinds of stuff there.
Great
They got a nice
URL.
set, DSA profile called DSA Coffee. You can have little coffee beans on your Windows key. You can do all kinds of stuff, man.
Does Ice-T
Beautiful.
work for Pimp My Keyboard also? Is he doing those renovations for people?
we could try and connect them.
Yeah, we should. We need this
Imagine
hookup
that
right
crossover.
now.
We could do it.
God, yeah.
Man.
Pimp My Keyboard.
Let's
Especially
do
with
it.
quarantine edition of Pimp My Ride.
I think we just got a
God.
new skit idea, but anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Moving on. Next
Okay.
keyboard. What are you thinking?
This kind of looks like another K65-ish keyboard from Corsair, but this is nice and simple. We've got a consistent color. The
Yeah.
red's not too shabby. It's not offensively RGB. I don't like RGB, right? Because it's just like you're trying to make your bedroom a Christmas tree. Right?
Yeah.
Like I don't need a Christmas tree in my
Also,
life.
objectively, in Christmas trees, the best color for lights is white because it's classy, not those rainbow colors.
True.
I'll take that, yeah.
true.
This is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
how that reference is kind of like in college bedrooms. Everybody puts the Christmas lights up in their room because it's just a
Yes.
cheap way to light your room.
Yeah.
And imagine those kids doing it with RGB or rainbow colors. It would just look so tacky. It would look bad.
So this is a
I agree.
man who wants to focus on the game. He doesn't want these bright yellows and greens. He doesn't want to be distracted. It's just a red. It's there. If you need to look at a key, you have some help. But the focus, this is a man who wants performance. He's about to switch, not
So
the
does
light.
this beat Flusher? Because Flusher's currently leading with a solid 7 out of 10. Does this beat it?
Do you know what? I like these Corsair keyboards. They're one of the ones I'd recommend. So because this one doesn't have hair all over it, I would put it on a par with Flusher's one.
Okay,
The other
that's
one
fair
was
enough. Yeah.
Positively disgusting.
It was
and
pretty
really
grim.
needed either an air spray or maybe just fire. But this one's pretty good.
Oh, okay. This is interesting.
Okay.
It's dirty as fuck.
This looks old school.
I likey. Me likey.
This looks. This is interesting. Okay, so we've got some kind of this man has thought about his little combo here.
Yeah.
We've got the whites and the blacks. Yes, it is gross. I think there may be mushrooms
God.
growing on it. It's
Okay,
been
once I put my
untouched for so
glasses
long.
on, I could see the grossness, right?
Yeah,
Right?
so-
Yeah, Maui, put them on.
Again, cleanliness,
All right.
hygiene. This
Yeah,
is a
I
bit of a
gotcha,
biohazard
yeah.
keyboard that we have going on here. But that aside, I like that the man he's put his own aesthetic on it, and I respect that.
Literally.
It's he's put his own aesthetic on it in different ways. Is that like one of those? Okay, it's just under the screen. I thought it was like in a drawer or something. Well, I mean, it doesn't look great. He's
No.
I'll
Well,
give it
if
a
it
4 out
doesn't
of
beat
10.
Flusher, it doesn't matter.
I've got a 4
yeah,
out of
that's
10.
it.
It's just like
We'll
there's a lot of
class that
activity,
aside.
like bacterial activity going on there, and I can't get behind
He's
that.
fermenting something in those
Yeah.
keys, actually.
Making kombucha.
Ooh. Cool colours.
Okay, now we're getting stylish. So we have what looks like a custom keyboard. Not only a custom set, but we can see there are designs on the shell of the keyboard itself. So, is that dual language as well?
I mean,
it is.
it's Forza, so
Yeah.
it should be English-Russian, Cyrillic,
Yeah,
right?
okay, this is really sick. Actually, I considered buying that keycap set myself. That's really solid. This is nice and easy, simple color combination. He may even have a custom braided cable for it as well.
Ooh,
So this is very tasteful. I love the space bar. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
This is
What's going
you
on with
can
this?
show this to your
It's
parents.
really good.
I
You
wish
could
I
take this
could
home to
see
the
what's
parents.
on the arrow keys. That's my...
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah,
arrow
can
keys
we
are great,
enhance?
actually.
Can
Looks
we
like a
do a
Enhance.
CSI?
or lizard or some sort.
If we yell at
Our
the production,
producer
it
says
works.
we can't do it. We can't do it. But we'll
That was
get the
lovely.
photo later.
I was very impressed with that. Very impressed.
very impressed.
Yes.
Okay.
I
We've
support
got
this.
2 more. So let's see if it can beat face cracks there. Let's bring up
Okay.
the next one. Thomas.
Oh.
Ooh.
Not bad.
I haven't seen that one before.
Oh, one more. This is
Corsair?
the last one.
Okay, I can't tell if he's removed the key or if that has if there's a novelty key on like the page up, page down area. He's got media keys, which
I don't like the top of it. It reminds me of keyboards we had at school, right? Like, and they
Yeah.
get real
All those extra buttons and
grimy.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've
I mean
never
it's not. It's
used-
clean. It's clean. It's I like it. It's
But does it beat your favorite?
oh no, of course not.
Oh, then
because
we can
it's
get rid of it.
it's off the shelf. It's about it needs some. The Fnatic keyboard is kind of like it's not a custom keyboard, but it's not your generic thing, so it gets extra points for that. This is nice though. I like the aesthetic of it, and I think it's the better of the Corsair keyboards we've seen so far. I'm not a fan of like media keys myself. Prefer it to be
yeah,
cleaner.
yeah.
But if he's smashing that Spotify, he's got like one button, so works for some. So it's a nice keyboard, but these are always going to be just a level low, but the custom keyboards like the one we just saw.
Well, that's fair enough. I believe, what was it, Face Crack? Was it Face Crack? They had the custom one?
I
I think
think
it
so.
was.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Well,
so.
GG Face Crack. You've won James's
played.
keyboard review.
That was an
but
easy win.
we're not stopping there because we got trainers for
Okay.
you,
Oh,
James. I know
boy.
I've been asking your advice on trainers as well.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Fraser's
This is
underground
amazing.
sneaky head.
I am.
Sneaker
but
head.
An Air Force One head, if that,
Yeah,
like a very
okay.
specific type.
All right.
So there's going to be a variety. What is that?
I thought that was an ankle. What is this?
What am I?
Oh, it's a fist. Okay.
Someone's fisting that
Can
shoe.
someone please sample that? Someone, I need that on the soundboard. Oh my god. Anyway, this is
It's Almazer's.
okay. It's nice. It's black. If you have something, I'm not sure if that's Ultra Boost or some kind of similar thing.
Yeah, it looks like a.
For me, I'll only get Ultra Boost if the boost is black, because when it's white, all the dirt shows up and it's hard to clean unless you like paint it, basically. And that just long term, it's a tough decision, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, for some it works. If you're like a sneakerhead or a skater, well, you wouldn't be wearing those anyway, but you know, the dirt thing can kind of work. But for me, it has to have a black sole. So these are really tidy. They're understated. They're not too loud. Loud can be good, but it can be bad. So these are clean. I like these.
I don't like how the entire toe box is mesh. And the tongue as well. It feels like, how much does his foot really need to breathe? Is it that stinky down there for Almazer?
Now that becomes a problem if you've got weird feet, right? If it's a comfortable fit, then it's fine. But if it's a bit tight, that's not going to be nice.
Not it. Let's
respect
bring up
that.
the next one. I believe we've got Brolin coming up next. Oh, he's got the Air Forces. 10 out of 10.
Well,
Are you wearing those right now?
Hell
Are you
yeah. I
wearing
mean,
those
I'm wearing a dress, so I'm not going to do it. But, but I do have them on right
this
now.
is, Freya's
Respect
all about
Brolin.
these. It's a classic. Great for women, great
Yeah.
for dudes as well. Nothing else
Goes
to be
with
said.
everything. Goes with dresses. Goes with jeans.
Freya's
I'm
called it
selling
a
them
solid 10.
for themselves.
If they're
Yeah.
in all black, it means you want to fight. Brolin
Absolutely.
would be.
Want to fight, run from the police.
Yes.
Or maybe burgle somewhere.
Uh-huh,
Maybe all
yes.
three. Maybe even spin the wheel and decide which one it's going to be tonight.
I'm glad the all black Air Force ones is like that works in Europe, in European culture and American culture. Everyone
Yeah.
knows that's
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
hoodlums.
yeah.
I have wheat Air Force Ones, so
Oh, that's
it's
good.
a
That's
bit,
good.
it's a bit more Wu-Tang, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know who we've got next. Is it S-Tag? S-Tag is up next.
Okay. So I
Okay.
suppose these would be in a kind of dad shoe class. I know Humor have been doing some stuff with Cloud9. They kindly sent me some Cloud9 gear as well, which is
Nice.
always a problem because they send like the tracksuit bottoms, but my legs are just way too long. But they sent me some nice gear, nice hoodie as well, which I wear on the plane. So, but yeah, this is like the dad shoe tier. Not my personal style, but you know, there's plenty of popularity for them. Again, it's nicely done. It's not too busy. It's not too crazy. It's kind of reasonable.
Yeah, totally. No, I see that. I believe we've got Floppy up next, another Cloud9 member.
Well, there we
with
go.
the
Speak of the
Cloud9.
devil. It's got his name on the side.
That's badass.
This
I
looks
that.
like Puma bit off Air Max 90s, though. These are pretty much Air Max 90s. Same exact
Yeah.
silhouette, but then they just put a Puma logo instead of the
They're a bit
the Nike
chunkier,
logo.
I would say. I feel like the front goes a bit higher than an Air Max. I've got Air Max 90s upstairs, and I feel like they're a bit more like this, whereas this is, I feel like the front has
angle
got
is
more
slightly
space.
different, yeah.
There's no, these are chunkier, I would say.
Yeah.
These are chunkier. Yeah, they're big chunky shoes. If you wanted to like kick a door open, those would probably be a good choice. Something you've got to think about sometimes.
Great
like
advice.
Air Max 90 sneaker boot is my favorite shoe because you can do anything in those. You can apply pressure to any surface and completely destroy it with no problem. Complete confidence.
Yeah, a lot of guys in the Bronx wore those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, moving on.
If you need to force your way into something,
Oh,
get the Air Max 90 on.
He
This is
really
troll.
went there.
This is so troll, dude. There's no. Actually, that's probably what he is wearing when he's playing.
Okay,
honestly.
who actually owned Crocs? Did anybody here?
I mean, to be fair, I would say that, in my opinion, all the shoes we've seen so far are Crocs tier. So
Oh, not a
hey.
sneaker fan, Monty. Not a.
It's a sneaker review.
I like
looking at my shoes.
Monty's shoes. I can't even cuss him. He's
Oh,
got
it's
his own
the
style,
boots, the
but
They're
boots.
good.
Yeah,
They are
yeah,
good,
there we go.
actually.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are very nice.
Oh, yeah, look at
yeah,
that.
I can respect those.
Lizard skin cowboy boots. You know, James, for a guy who is just talking about bespoke content, I'm wearing
good.
handmade lizard skin cowboy boots. You're talking about, you were just dissing keyboards for being mass market, man.
Oh, I can bring you some fire.
Bring up
I
the
can bring
real
you some
fucking
fire.
game, man. Give me the bespoke
I
shit.
got tan Chelsea boots. I got handmade slippers and a smoking jacket.
There you go.
If you want me to bring the flames, I'll bring the flames.
I'm just saying, you're giving all these compliments, you know,
Yeah.
out there to these shoes. When the keyboards, you know, that
But the keyboard is the whole thing, right? At most, it's the keyboard and the cable. But it's a keyboard. You can change the case. You can change the switches. You can change the keycaps. You can do things with the lights. Like you can put it all together yourself. So it's not just like a box standard keyboard. But with the shoes, you got the laces, but you're accessorizing with everything you're wearing. It's all
Right,
got to
it's
go
a
together.
coordination.
So it's not just
Yeah.
a shoe. But what I'll say is those Crocs are shit.
Oh, we got some slides
Wow.
appearing in here. JW, pretty stylish.
I love those
Yeah, they're cool.
because that just looks gangster.
yeah,
And
I can imagine.
JW is the most gangster person to be wearing them as well. So I like what Fnatic do with their branding. I think their accessories have been great. Again,
socks with slides.
I mean, you have to.
I don't really wear
right?
slides, to be honest. I wore those.
You kind of have to.
Okay, so I was in Turks and Caicos, right, and I walked to the dive shop with some thongs on, if you will. Or whatever
That's a
you call
mental
those.
image.
Okay,
Anyway,
flip-flop.
My feet were bleeding afterwards. My feet were bleeding afterwards.
I don't know
so
why that would cause
this
your
is
feet to
like, I don't
bleed,
wear
but
these.
okay.
I don't wear these things. If you want to wear socks, if it makes you feel comfortable, if it's a security blanket, then go ahead.
You know,
Oh,
you know,
some
JW has
Gucci.
or Flesha has another pair of instead of the FNA with the tick, he's got one that says 128.
That's are you trolling me? Because he's done this before.
No, he's got the 128 tick slides also.
Really?
Is that a real
He
thing?
posted
or
on
did
his
you just make
Instagram.
that up?
Okay, cool. I don't know when he's lying or not because he
Yeah,
told
yeah,
me
yeah.
with the Bentec thing, and I just wasn't thinking. Anyway, I feel like these are cool. These are really well done.
These are
Yeah.
good Gucci ones.
But you can't own these without owning the Stan Smith Adidas shoes, right? Because
Right.
these are basically inspired by the Stan Smiths,
Yeah.
and you gotta put respect on that name. You gotta have the Stan Smiths with the green on the back. That's my color of choice,
For
and a pair
sure.
of these.
It's like-
Otherwise, it's you need to know where these came from.
Yeah, you need
gotta
to know
have
the
the-
history, the origin
yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah.
Because people sometimes just buy the Margiela trainers and they don't even have the German athletic trainers
Yeah.
that they came out with.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what that is?
So
History
these
lesson.
are nice, but you got to get the Stan Smiths as well.
Oh, this is wait. Are these
Oh.
Air Force Are these shadows? No, I don't know. I don't actually know what these are.
collab is this?
This looks like some kind of special edition
Yeah.
thing. Man, I miss the days of Sonny.
Oh.
When he was on Mouse Sports, he had Philip Plein shoes with spikes on all kinds of stuff.
Nuts.
But these are pretty cool. Like, they're a special design, as you can see from the sole.
Mm.
But again, it's not too in your face. It's like, if you pay attention, you'll see, oh, there's some detail here. But it's not too attention seeking. So I like it. That tongue looks crazy.
Yeah, if you're a trainer fan, then you'll appreciate those. But
Yeah.
they can go under the radar as well. I like that subtlety with trainers. I believe we've got Mezzi up next. Let's see what he's bringing to the table. Okay.
Ooh, chunks.
Yeah.
He's ready to fight somebody with those.
My God, they're so big.
They are proper
They look like
womper
platform
stompers.
shoes. I would like to see more of a side profile because if you look at the back of the right shoe, it just looks huge.
Yeah, proper chunky.
So, but those are like comfort shoes. So these are like all black dad shoes.
Yeah, proper dad shoes.
Yeah.
That's a good shout. I believe we've got Zantares up next.
Okay, this is a flex.
Very nice.
I like them. You have to have the right personality, like visual. People need to like read your personality to kind of get away with that stuff on the side. but he's a gangster, so he can do it.
Yeah.
He can rock that, no
Pure
problem.
gangster
But again, you got to complete the
Lantaras.
look right. You can't be wearing like some fat, baggy tracksuit bottoms with those. You
He'll
got to
complete the
You got to
look.
have a profile.
Yeah, he's
got to have a
Turkish.
silhouette.
He'll
You
get
know.
it.
Yeah.
Do you understand, Monty? You could wear these, Monty. You could do this.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Speaking of dad shoes,
What? Oh.
these are some chunks.
Wow. Those are. See, the thing is, right. All right. If you had like 6 man on roads and they're all wearing Air Force Ones and stuff, and you had one guy wearing these, that's the guy I'm afraid of. Because I'm like, I don't know what this guy's capable of. Because I don't know where these shoes came from, but this guy is probably dangerous. So, you know,
Watch
you're
out
going to
for
get
the
some
gear.
clout in the ends if you're wearing something like that. They look reflect. Oh my god.
No. Oh,
This is Mihu
no.
just getting real comfy.
Surely these are his girlfriends. Surely.
This looks all about performance, Freya. It's all about performance, you know? You want to have maximum comfort. You're sitting at home, or maybe on land, who knows,
Yeah.
if he's brave enough. You know, if I was going to wear those, I would wear them, not anywhere, but I'd wear them in the studio.
But the fluff, like, do you need the excess fluff? Surely that isn't comfortable because surely underneath is like rubber.
Have you ever
right?
seen, Freya, in the street, where a skinny kid has a massive puffer jacket? Or it's like really warm, but they won't take the jacket off.
Yes,
Because it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's like a security blanket, right? It makes them feel bigger than they really are. Could be something like that.
It's compensating.
Not in terms of like being larger, because it's not like a hoodie, but just being comfortable, just being like at ease, just like everything's okay.
Okay.
You know, it's like you get a bit nervous about something, your mind starts to stray, just wiggle your foot, just feel that fur around your feet.
I'm just saying,
you
I
know?
don't think you'd feel the fur around your feet because surely that's going to be glued on to something else.
Sure,
right?
but there's so much of it that's probably overflowing.
Maybe you could put
you
your
know?
foot on top of it.
It's
I don't
like
know.
when you draw a long bath, you're like, I feel like you get a little glimpse of that. With
I
those.
feel like we're thinking
Or-
too deeply about these
Or
styles,
it
James.
just feels like plastic and it's like really cheap. No, there's probably no middle ground. It's just two extremes.
One or the other.
So Monty, would you wear those at home though?
Not those in particular, but I do appreciate it, right?
It's so
See, for
big.
me, the problem is like if only the middle part of my foot was getting cold, and then I was using, my toes and my heel to just kind of vent the heat. But it makes no sense to me, right? Like
So it's not like a gilet for feet.
I either want my foot to be, entirely like dispersing the heat, or I would like it to be all the furry texture, right, to keep the heat in.
Yes,
So that's my problem with it.
Yeah.
It's too
not-
hot in
it's
the
not
middle,
committed.
too cold at the end.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand about gilets. I will never understand that. Why the fuck? Why would you not just have a whole jacket?
Well, this is the core.
But do your arms not get less
Scientifically-
cold?
You want to keep the core warm, but I was given one at an event once, and I've never worn it because I feel self-conscious wearing it. I don't know how to wear one, even though you just put your arms through whatever. But,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like, what do I wear underneath?
Yeah,
and
do
stuff.
you just wear a vest or
I
a
don't know that this is
t-shirt?
for me. This is just a bit too far. There's no one to help me once I leave the house. Actually, I'm just out there on my own. Someone looks at me, I'm like, shit, are they looking at me because I'm wearing a
God.
jacket?
Nifty, please, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we can read the room here. So the problem with these. So we looked at shoes before, and we said these are not too loud. They're understated. There's some detail. This is like spam, essentially. It's like this is the. I don't feel like Nifty is a.
The tragic thing is I feel like without the giant Dolce & Gabbana and the black boxes,
They'd be
they were
really
just
nice.
red, they would be fine.
Yes,
yeah,
you're
they're-
right, yeah.
It'd be like NMDs, like those Pharrell shoes from Adidas almost.
I think
yeah.
I feel like Balenciaga popularized the shoe sock, and Dolce & Gabbana just bastardized it by slapping their name on it. And Dolce & Gabbana isn't even in vogue anymore. This is a brand that was cool in the early 2000s.
They do good aftershave.
Okay, that's one thing that they've cornered the market on, I suppose. But the fact is that they haven't been really cool for 20 years. So this is like, I don't know if Nifty's trying to pick up cougars or what with this shoe. 'Cause that's all I'm getting.
Yeah, I feel like
Don't cougar shame Nifty.
I'm not cougar shaming. I'm saying that's where he's going with it.
I feel like you find those shoes in Vegas, or
Yes.
you're in
Yes.
Europe and you see someone who's like a tourist and you can't pinpoint where they're from, but they're from Europe
But
somewhere.
you know they're a tourist. Yeah.
Or like maybe some Russian tourists or Chinese tourists will wear that.
And then
But
you
it's-
see it, and then you know they're Armenian.
yeah, but it's like it's spam. It's spam. It's inbox jihad. It's just too much.
Well, thank you so much, James. I don't know whether that lasted an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I was having a hell of a time. So thank you so much for joining us.
was very fun.
For some keyboard
You're
and
most
trainer
welcome.
reviews.
You know what the worst thing is about those shoes, right? Is that like Envy do really good hoodies. They were kind enough to send me one, but there's another one with like black string with white lines in it, which looks really sick, and I really want it. But just imagining that with those shoes makes me want to be sick.
Well, hopefully, Nifty won't ever send you a photo. But I think with that, we can round up today's action. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me. I believe we can take a quick look at tomorrow's schedule as well. Of course, we will have Big versus MIBR in the Demolition Men for our first matchup of the day. Then we will be moving on to VP versus OG. Of course, these are all winners matchups. All of these teams have already qualified to the playoffs, but it will just be determining which seed they will be taking into that. I'm wondering, James, considering you were saying, you're going to be betting on the underdogs, will we see a spicy MIBR pick coming out from you?
That is a very tall order. That's one pick. Well, I can't pick up against Big. They're just doing
ridiculous, right?
They're just doing way. They're doing way too well.
This is the line.
I still regret the Dignitas bet. And we were discussing it in the gaming room. I was like, I know it's stupid. I'm going to change it. I'm not going to change it. I live in regret, but whatever. It is what it is. It's done. It's history. I can't change it.
I respect that, James. You know what? We'll see if you can change history tomorrow. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me here at the Blind Spot. We'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow. We'll be kicking things off with MIBR versus Big. Thank you so much, James.